Welcome, everyone. I'm Alan Clay from Dwarf Planet University. We've discovered 10 new outer planets in recent years, and these represent new aspects of consciousness that are coming available to us. This video looks at the new moon aspects with these planets to see their influence in the month ahead. So we're coming up to the next new moon in Sagittarius on the 1st of December. This new moon is exactly sesquiquadrate our new planet of diversity consciousness, Eris, at 24 degrees 32 minutes of Eris. Now, the sesquiquadrate is a square and a half, so there's a challenge coming from our diversity consciousness to this birth moment of the new monthly cycle. What does that mean? Well, Eris teaches us to value everything and everyone for who they are. She encourages us to simultaneously look at ourselves in an uncompromising way and also be inclusive in our worldview. Now, we tend to fool ourselves and overlook our own shortcomings just to get through each day. But Eris draws her strength from the unflinching nature of her understanding. It's all valuable to her and will only be complete and embrace our full power when we accept our multifaceted nature. Now, these new outer planets represent new aspects of consciousness that are coming available to us, and they manifest in our lives differently depending on our current level of consciousness. So when we're at the personal planet level of consciousness, Eris encourages us to engage in discord and strife, so we learn to stop fooling ourselves or stop being fooled. So the sesquiquadrate could manifest as discord between you and the others in your life this month. It might seem like everyone is getting on their high horse about something. Or we might go to any lengths to be included in some enterprise or social group this month, compromising ourselves in the process. Or we could be unable to compromise and so not allowed to participate. And as a result, we may feel alienated and excluded from meaningful social interaction. Now, as we adopt a more spiritual approach, we understand that our strife can be dealt with simply by accepting the opposing point of view. Now, that might say it's simple, but it's one of the hardest things to do. If you're encountering strife in your interactions, examine what would need to change on either side to reach an accommodation. Is there a way to allow the opposing view so you can both live in harmony? If there is, make moves to enable that. If there isn't, quit the dispute. Now, diversity consciousness enables us to understand that the problem is seeing the opposing view as a challenge. To accept an opposing view, we have to grow spiritually so that our belief is not challenged by a lack of the same belief in another. At this level, Eris becomes the goddess of pluralism, enabling us each to believe what works for us. We learn to see the world clearly without preconceptions. And this clarity enables us to keep our body and our mind in harmony so that health and happiness prevails. So this coming month, we might find that we can put aside our preconceptions and see something clearly that may previously have been hidden or overlooked. And at the highest level, Eris is a spirit guide, transmuting life into love and bringing sacred wisdom into our lives. Now, she's the higher octave of Pluto, a more spiritual Pluto, lifting his transformative energy into a fierce grace. And this gives us a female power, which is gentle, but which rises to meet the needs of any challenge. Now, we tend to think of Pluto as power, but I suggest he represents male power, which can be a bit coercive. And Eris is the new female power that is coming available to us. So the sesquiquadrate to the new moon challenges those of us on the spiritual path to embrace our female power this month. And when we do, we'll be able to transmute the experiences we're having into love. Now, the new moon sesquiquadrate with Eris is exact, so it's very strongly influencing the month ahead. But the December new moon is also closely trine our planet of higher love consciousness, Salacia, at 9 degrees of Aries, and trine the planet of mastery consciousness, Varuna, who we'll see in a moment in the background, at 10 degrees of Leo. Both of these aspects are within 1 degree. I talked about these planets in last month's video because November's new moon was sesquiquadrate Salacia and square Varuna. So if you're following this, let's look at Salacia first. I suggest that we could be challenged this month to have a sixth sense about our progress, which will open us to the possibility of intimate relationships and true love, and empower our psychic contact with others. So how's that going? Salacia encourages us to feel our own process. You know the moves to make and the time to make them. If the transit is manifesting as a lack of intimate relationships, you need to interface with others in some way that brings you in contact with people, ideally doing something you love. So next month, this challenge of intimacy becomes a flow, enabling an openness in our relationships. As we develop spiritually, Salacia enables us to remove the barriers to happiness in our lives. And she teaches us to approach life with an easy sense of humor and a wit that helps us get through the difficult times. Humor enables us to let go of shadow by being light-hearted. We learn not to take ourselves or others so seriously, and this lightness enables tension release, which both protects us and assists our growth. So we have an opportunity to make the space for intimacy and remove the barriers to happiness in our lives next month. And now let's look at Varuna, our new planet of mastery consciousness, because he's also encouraging this lightness. So we're getting a double whammy. The other challenge this month, in November, I'm suggested, was to gain our sovereignty, to stand in the center of our lives and own the results of our dance with karma and dharma. And this challenge to gain sovereignty will also become a flow in December. So if we're standing in the center of our lives in November and owning the results of our dance of karma and dharma, then we should find that in December we have the wherewithal to do what we need to do and the experience to pull it off. Now, to achieve mastery consciousness, we need to let go of conditioning. All of our experience has conditioned us to approach the world in a certain way, and much of that conditioning was out of our control and in the hands of parents or teachers, or was just inherent in the society in which we were brought up. We carry this conditioning in our body as attention and in our psyche as fixed attitudes, both of which inform or control our every move. Now, laughter enables the release of this conditioning. By laughing at our own petty habits and our mannerisms, we enable a deconditioning process which frees us to claim our sovereignty. When we take ourselves lightly, we enable our mastery consciousness. So, both Salacia and Varuna are encouraging us to be light-hearted next month, to enable an openness to others and a sovereignty in our affairs. So I encourage you to enjoy that process. Now check out the Dwarf Planet University online to look at our 6-week classes. We have them on each of the dwarf planets, and sign up to our email newsletter there to get Dwarf Planet news and special deals on classes. buy a copy of New Stars for a New Era, a Consciousness Workbook for our 10 new planets, to work out where they are for you and what they mean. You don't need any astrological experience or knowledge to read this book. And please like this video and subscribe to this channel and let me know what you think in the comments. I love you all.